Hey everybody, it is JPT. We back here in the Let's Build series. It's been too long. It's been too long, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining why or why not. I got into it and then I got out. And I just got busy. And so that's really about it. But I have a lot of things that I am excited to show you in today's video, including some plans and what I've been doing since the last video, which was just over a year ago. It's crazy how time flies. Oh man, time has flown. But we are here in our city. I'm playing with a few mods. I'm tinkering with a few mods and a few recording settings, and so things are all cattywampus this episode. Hopefully we can get things back to normal. Speaking of mods, let me show you what I'm working with. Show you what you're working with. So I've got a few things here. I installed Bobby because I wanted to be able to do render distances. You know, it's, a lot of people use it for servers, but apparently it also works really well for single player worlds. And so, I'm pretty happy with this. I think I actually have it. I think I have it set to 32. Oh, wait. No, this is, 32 here. Single player overrides the view distance of the integrated server. This allows Bobby to be useful in single player. Well, Bobby is active in single player only if this is enabled. Oh, man. Wow, I will mess with this after the fact. I thought I set that value. But hey, it looks pretty good otherwise. This right here, essential commands. Ooh, I am loving this for so many reasons. John Paul R., you are my favorite today. I also got free cam just because. I'm not sure exactly why or when I would be able to use that. I got lithium. I got mod menu, which is how you see all this stuff. Simple fog control is working pretty well. World edit, I'm starting to use world edit now, and I will explain why. And zoomify. Ooh, I love zoomify. Let me show you why. Okay, so this is normal zoom. But just wait. Let's look at that base right there. Mega zoom. Oh god. You can't really look left or right because I just barely moved it. I just barely moved it. It gets out of hand real quick, but you can see things so far away. I bet you could see an airplane from here if I got my act together. Let's look at one of these windows of the hotel. What's going on in there? Oh, not much. Not much. Hospital? What's going on? See, get yourself Zoomify. It is pretty awesome. It's pretty baller. But, so, I can't think. Essential commands. Let me show you what I can do with essential commands. So, for instance, I have to reference a lot of things all the time when I am building. Or like, let's say, okay, I want to go to the airport. It's way over there. So if I'm just like, dun, 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 you'll see the airport come into view here in a second. But look how much time this wastes. So I used to write down coordinates, and I used to teleport to those coordinates. See the airport coming into view? Yeah. Can you fly? Oh, yeah. Let's look at that airplane. I love it. Okay. So this is what I can do. See, I've already been messing with it today. Warp, TP. But look at all these things here. I've got airport. I got the baseball stadium. I got the bridge that I'm going to be building. Let's go to the airport. Bam. Airport. You've just been airported. Look at that. How awesome is that? So like warp, let's go back to the baseball field. Let's go on the actual baseball field. Look at that. How, like, I don't have to just sit there and like type in the coordinates, or, I mean, it even gives you the coordinates right there, which is pretty awesome. So I will probably do a quick tutorial on this if you guys are interested. I am learning kind of as I go, but man, this thing has changed my playing and building. So one of the things that I want to show you is how the map has evolved, and that's going to involve the lighthouse. It's going to involve the original warehouse that I built in survival, and it's also going to involve the pier. Right there, that thing right there. Near. Can I see the horses from here on the carousel? Or have they not? No, see, they haven't rendered. Are they still there? Horses, are you still there? I don't know if they're still there. Oh, no, they're there. See, right there. How awesome is this mod? Zoomify! I can't remember the other one that I tried to use. It wasn't updated. Logical Zoom is the name of the other mod, but Zoomify is winning all the beans. Look at that. All right. So notice how we're really landlocked since I updated the map. I updated the map and it changed a lot of things. You can kind of see here that there's like a river more so than an ocean. There used to be an ocean, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. But we're really landlocked, and this pier doesn't make any sense here. And honestly, it being near sort of this older neighborhood, it also didn't really make a lot of sense to me in the environment that it was. Like, we had land that was really close. It just, I really like it, but I don't like it where it is. And so this whole thing, including this restaurant, this whole thing is going to go way over there. It's going to go over there. And the lighthouse, well, guess what? This lighthouse has moved so many times. Remember when it used to be here and then I moved it there? Well, now I moved it way over yonder. And to show you, let me just go ahead and I'm going to warp to the marina, or what will be the marina. Boom. This is going to be the marina. And so you kind of see, you kind of saw where we came from. We came from over there. So like that's the Capitol building and the lighthouse is over there. Yeah, I got to really get that render distance fixed. Ooh, look, our marina parking lot for boats and trailers. Okay, so this is on the southern edge of what I've built so far. But what I want to do is I want to show you where I moved the lighthouse, and it'll make way more sense when I cut over to the unmined map. Unmined being the application that I use to go do like overhead shots of my world, so I can kind of get a top-down view of everything. But look at here, look at this. Look at this lighthouse. Ooh, yeah. This is all ocean. This is all ocean. So it makes sense for this lighthouse to be up on the ocean. So basically I just used Lightmatica and I copied it and I pasted it. Do you want to see? You want to see Lightmatica? I'll show you my Lightmatica. Here we go. Look, Lightmatica. Probably one of my favorite mods. Load schematics. I already had the lighthouse once when I moved it, but now I had it. Now I have it on the rocks. Lighthouse on the rocks. So I loaded it, and here it is. Boom. So, ooh, let me try something. Let me try, yeah, this. Ooh, yeah. Still recording? Yeah, still recording. Good. Look at that. I can rotate it. Meow, 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 meow. And so that's how I moved that over here. I copied it from way over there, and I moved it over here. Let's get rid of that. I don't need it. Boom, unload. Oh, I love it. I love it. Terraforming is so much easier now with World Edit as well, because I learned how to use brushes. So for instance, like if this is a little too rocky for us, I can just change this wooden thing to a smooth brush. Smooth. Smooth operator. Bam. 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 I'm smoothing it out. But actually I don't want to do that. So we're gonna undo all that. Yeah. There we go. Back to normal. So yeah, World Edit has helped so much, tremendously. So much tremendously. Yeah. So this is where our lighthouse is going to be. And essentially, we're going to make it so that you can kind of see how it's isolated too, which I like. And there's going to be a reason for that. We are going to have essentially some neighborhoods through here, some houses, some rural housing. This whole strip of land here we're going to leave alone. But essentially, as we work our way back over to the marina, you'll kind of see what's going to happen. The terrain is really rocky. This is all new terrain in 1.20.2. I used MCA Selector to delete chunks out of my world that I wasn't actually using, and I was curious to see how 120.2 would render that. Like, yeah, look at this big old ravine in here. Yeah, so that's going to get covered because we don't need that. But as you can see, we have a road here um, with a bridge, and it looks really sort of flat, but you can kind of see it gets elevated. It gets elevated as we go. Has a little bump here. I think there's maybe one more, yeah, one more bump there. So it kind of comes up, up, up. And it's really straight, which I might change. I might change it to where it kind of sort of staggers over by one, because you can see this is just, we are flying in. You could see that it was just a very straight road. But right here, that's where we flew in, the marina. So the lighthouse isn't really that far away from the marina. But essentially what I want to do is, so like we've got the airport over there, we've got this bridge, this really big bridge that we're going to build. But I want to make this sort of a marina where people can park their boats. You got the boat ramp here, and so they can come here and come around. This used to be land siphoned off. What's the word I'm trying to think of? There used to be a piece of land here, and so I worked on sort of terraforming that. You can kind of see it needs a little bit of work. It's a little too straight, a little man-made. But yeah, see, there's the warehouse right there. That warehouse is landlocked. It doesn't make any sense for that warehouse with this sort of cargo ship thing to be here. Like if we just wanted to do the warehouse by itself, and we might actually, now that I think about it, we may just want to store goods, but I don't think this is the right place for it. I think it makes way more sense over by the airport. And so I've got a lot of plans. I've got a lot of things that I want to show you in today's video. Whether or not we actually get to them, I don't know. Essentially what's going to happen is I travel a lot for work now, and I'm basically on the road about every other week. And so what that entails is that right now I don't have a computer. Like all of this whole world is on my home computer. And what I would like to be able to do is I'd like to be able to put it on a private server to where I can play on the road. So when I get done with work, I can go back to the hotel at night or back to the Airbnb at night and just sort of relax and build some stuff. Whether or not that means I'll be streaming that, I don't know. I don't know if that is what I'm going to be able to do. So again, I wanted to jump back in. I've been tinkering with this world, not nearly as much as until recently. But I've been really busy. My boys are older now. I've got two boys. They're into Minecraft, so they like to play. And I would just like to be able to sort of do my own thing. As you can see here, I am using my own not mod pack, resource pack. So I got subtle tweaks to vanilla. I've also got subtle tweaks modern. As you can see, it's incompatible with this version of Minecraft. This one took me forever to convert over, and I figured out what the issue was, and it was really annoying when I figured out what the issue was, because it just seems like every time they update Minecraft, it breaks everyone's resource packs, and they just can't make up their mind how they want to keep things. This no menu click says it's incompatible, but it works. It's really nice. But as you can see, I've got some vanilla tweaks as well that are incompatible that I haven't been able to use. But it is what it is. But as you can see here, I am using the coordinates one because I was having to use those a lot. And yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, I always also notice I was like, it's not 12 o'clock as I'm recording this. It's 12 o'clock in this world because the sun is straight up all the time. All the time. So getting back to kind of what I was saying, when I'm on the road, I'd like to be able to, if anything, keep working on the world so that I can record some stuff and show you around. Videos may show me building stuff on camera. It may be just be like, hey, this is what I built this week. Check it out. Or this is what I've been working on. This is the progress I made. I can't guarantee anything. These are just the things that work for me right now. The fact that I'm recording this video is kind of a small miracle because just how busy I am all the time and being on the road and coming home and then having things to do here at home. But yeah, it's just I'm going to work in the confines that I have, and you will be the recipients of said work. And so again, some of this could just be me doing some chill build streams, sort of planning streams. I'm not going to guarantee anything. And one of the big things that people that always seems to happen when I'm streaming is like, hey, can you show us around? And for a very brief time, a couple years ago, I had this world on a server to where you guys could come and do essentially what I'm doing right now. You could just fly around the world. I had a certain number of spectators that could be on the world at one time. I think it was 10. It's not like we ever maxed that out by any means. Um, but I might get back to doing that if that's popular because it's such a distraction. And I understand people want to kind of see this world, especially new people, not having any clue as to, go. And nobody really honestly has enough time to go and watch all my videos, right? And so with the updates and all that, I may get back to that. I think if anything, I'm definitely going to work with some of the friends that I know to get a private server back up, and I'll probably need to get a better laptop that I can travel with because essentially the one that I have, I bought a number of years ago really to just do sort of Word document editing, essentially. I didn't need a lot. I just needed access to a web browser, and I think I did some light Photoshop work. And so essentially what that allowed me to do, and I know I'm rambling here, so just bear with me. Essentially, that just allowed me to get online and do the work that I needed to do. And honestly, half the time I was remoting into this computer that I'm on right now to do a bulk of my graphic design work that I needed to do on the road. But speaking of roads, you can kind of see the beat up tarmac here. This looks really crazy, but essentially what it is this, with World Edit, allowed me to sort of put where the airplanes are mostly using, this tarmac and the jet bridges and all that. And you can kind of see how the lines are worn down. I'm using, I think, concrete and sponges. So I've got wet sponges, dry sponges, and then just regular concrete powder. And yeah, so I went through, this is kind of what got me back into this world was the airport. And you can see here, like I've still got it to where it's like really run down where the planes land, and then you can kind of see where the planes predominantly stay in the middle here. So it makes more sense for everything in the middle to be more worn down than on the outside. This still has a bit of work. You can also kind of see the grass is sort of broken up. Again, this was me sort of experimenting with World Edit to see if I could use brushes properly. I hate how close these, oh cool, look at that. I don't know if that ever was on the original part of the render, but yeah, I got some work to do. A lot of the work that I did do off camera recently, and I would like to know if there's a way to use brushes underwater with World Edit because most of this cliff stuff you see is done by hand. So, and I'll show you what I mean here. Oh no, of course I went to the one spot that literally isn't. Yeah, see. So if I go under here, see how all of this is underwater here. No, actually here. Now you can't see, but now you can. Ta-da! So yeah, if I go up, and this is going to be maybe a little bit dangerous. Yeah. Boom. Oh yeah, we broke in. We're in the airport. Let's go, boys. See what I mean? So this is all floating, essentially. This is all essentially floating above just nothing, just an ocean, because I had to build the airport over the water. And it'll make more sense here in a second when I show you the map on Unmined. But essentially, I had to terraform all of this, and I'm still not thrilled about it because you can kind of see it just sort of goes straight down. Not everywhere. Like, see here, you can kind of see how it goes down and then really goes down into the deep. I would really like to just work on this to be sort of a gradual slope, but boy, this took me a long time. Oh, another ravine still there. But this gives you sort of a view of at least the work that I did to be happy. And most of this was done by hand, not necessarily by hand. There were some commands that I used. Oh, I hate that. I don't like that being there. Get away. Get away. Don't get. But you can kind of see here, there's still just a lot of work to do. Like, I don't like how the diorite is just exposed there. And again, I just want to kind of work on sloping that like that. And so these are things that I'll work on off camera. But essentially what I had to do was I had to sort of build this land out and kind of flatten it out, because that's how it is around airports, right? Like all the land is really flat. This airport, just wait till you see the scale of this airport and the runways in comparison to the rest of the city. It's wild. And if you look at it, if you look at airports, let's say you go on Google Maps and look, airports are huge. They take, especially international airports, which is roughly what this one is based off of, they take up so much space. It's ridiculous. It's a land upon land upon land. It's wild. But anyways, you can kind of see what I did here. So essentially I had all of my my lines done with this powder, and then I just used brushes to sort of change everything up, rough it up, you know, do all that kind of thing. So again, there's still lots of work to be done here at the airport, but I'm really happy with this, the way this looks. But let me jump over to Unmind and kind of show you what we're working with. Okay, so this is what we're working with. This is the current map that we were just looking at. So when we left, we were roughly over here. This is the entire airport grounds. It's insane. It's insane. This used to just be ocean, and you'll see that here in a second. And then this, like, this is that baseball field. This baseball field, that is a single base, right? And so if we zoom out, this baseball field is pretty massive, and it's in the middle of the city. This airport is humongous. I just came up with a word. It's humongous. Oh boy. Yeah, it's a lot. So you can kind of see the scale of it. I extended the runways. This is going to be sort of a whole hangar situation where they work on the airplanes. There's going to be office buildings on this side. That's why this road comes here. There's so much work to still be done. But you can kind of see, like, look how beat up. Like, if go type in your local airport and look how rough the ground is. That's what this is. That's what all of this is. And that's what I was inspired to do. And it was fun. It was just fun for me to try to learn how to use World Edit and brushes and all that. Speaking of brushes, I was able to brush up on my interstate, right? So this is the interstate that cuts through the city. You can kind of see you've got the on and off ramps. You've got these. I just recently worked on these. These ones took forever, and they basically mirror each other. And it's a way to get off the interstate and then on back to the interstate, going north, I suppose, in this case. Got the shopping mall here. Again, here's the pier, right? So we've got the pier here. But what I want to do is this pier, I think I want to switch it to where it's over here, near the bridge, that kind of thing, and make this sort of a amusement sort of area. The difference being, though, is that I want to make this industrial. And so if you've got ships and stuff coming in, I just don't know how viable making this. I don't know. We're gonna cut that out. We're gonna save it, and I'm gonna make sure I have a backup of it, because there's a lot of work that went into this amusement area here. This will get transferred eventually, as will this. This will go away because this is our lighthouse, which is, so you can kind of see the lighthouse is there, and now it's all the way down right there. It's right there. That's where our lighthouse is, which makes way more sense, right? Because you got a vast ocean here. So as you have ships coming in, they need to know where the land is, at least over here. And if anything, we may actually add another lighthouse over here, which would be near the bridge and stuff. Although, you know, some would argue that you're going to see lights on top of the bridge. But it might be cool to sort of have an Alcatraz-y kind of island here. Not necessarily build a prison necessarily, but thinking kind of San Francisco, how it has, you know, some islands and some landmarks as you come in. But as you can see here, this bridge is also very long and very, it'll be very large. It'll be sort of the thing that you see when you come in. As you can see, it's basically not quite the length of the airport, but it is the way to get to from this main piece of land over to this new one, which was a part of the chunks that I deleted and the new terrain. All of this is new terrain. This is sort of the same as it was before, but this is all brand new, and I'll show you why here in a second. Also, was experimenting with having a bridge sort of turn here and come this way, but I think ultimately I landed on just having another smaller long bridge get us over to this piece of land here. And as you can see, there's like a village and stuff here. Unfortunately, that's going to go, but hey, maybe a neighborhood will end up being there. I think we'll end up getting rid of this since there are two sort of major ways of getting to this area here. And as you can see here, um, this is kind of a mountainous region, and so this whole bridge is going to have to probably take a turn and go around. And I'm not sure what the plan is once we get over here. As you can see, I haven't even rendered these chunks in yet. But all of this previously, all this land right here was ocean. And again, I'll show you that here in a second. I'm just kind of giving you an overview of what we're doing here. Marina is going to go here. As you can see, this is kind of the land that I was working on. It bottlenecks a little too tight in my opinion, so I'll probably have to come back and shave from here, probably over to here, and probably shave a little bit more of this landmass down to kind of give people a way of getting from here underneath this bridge and over to this area. Because you'd have to, in order to get here, you'd have to go this way, all the way this way, to get here. And so I was kind of trying to make it a little bit, a shortcut, cheat code to get over to here. So this is probably the last thing I was working on before I started recording this video. And so I want to keep shaving on that. A lot of this area here is savanna. And so that's kind of an interesting thing because I don't know, it kind of blends into this forest, which blends into a jungle. And you can kind of see down here what that is. It's an easy way. I mean, outside of just knowing the colors of land masses, that's essentially what's going on here. So essentially, this building here and this area here are all going to go away, and then this is going to go away. So all of this sort of lake side, would you call this a lake? I guess it would be. Lake riverside action is going to go away. The one interesting thing is I've got this metro here. And so what we might end up doing, to be honest, is we might just end up making, so this is Old Town, right? So this is sort of the original town that has sort of taking a revitalization in my brain and the story that I'm trying to tell myself. And then you've got sort of the new skyscrapery town here that's been built up. Of course, baseball stadiums here. You got the shopping mall here. You got the Capitol building here. You got the museum, art place here, gallery. And so I think essentially what I want to try to do is I want to try to, I guess, almost sandwich Old Town with some new stuff. And so I don't really have too many ideas for this landmass since it's a little bit higher. It may get shaved down a little bit. But since this lighthouse is going away and this pier is going away and this warehouse is going to get moved, and honestly, it might just be moving over here if I can get my act together. It may actually end up moving here. I don't know. So this will definitely be industrial in nature. We've got the convention center that's going in here since it's near the hotel and the airport. This is sort of a convention center area with a parking garage that I've been working on, at least in my brain, just sort of laying it out a little bit. Got the marina here with all of our parking spaces here. So essentially you can come in here, you can pull in this way and then back your boat into the ramp. You can then go park. And then as you go to leave, you can go get your boat, back out, and come out this way. This isn't ideal. I've been to a few boat ramp areas. I don't know. This may change just for traffic flow reasons. But essentially, we're going to have some boats parked out here, which will probably be something that I work on sooner rather than later. So if you have ideas for boats or marinas, send me any pictures that you have, or sort of direct me to locations that I can look at on Google Maps. And that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from, is either Google Maps or Instagram, just sort of and just traveling on my own. You'll be surprised at how many pictures I have on my phone that I've taken just to be able to reference things. But essentially what's going to happen is you got this road here. It's going to obviously snake throughout multiple places. There's going to be all sorts of houses through here, probably higher end housing, more land mass, more money, essentially. It's not going to be really dense population throughout here, but enough things to keep people busy. As you can see here, we've got our lighthouse here. You got that sort of island here that we're going to try to leave alone. And so we're gonna need some ways of people ways for people to get to this lighthouse. And so as you can see here, this is on a pretty impressive island. And now that I see this here, you could almost justify having not only this lighthouse, but maybe also another one here or even one here, which would be kind of cool. So this could just become the land of lighthouses if we if we don't protect ourselves from it. So essentially, what we might end up doing is bringing this road all the way down here, crossing here, and then maybe having a parking lot on this side, and then forcing people to walk all the way to the lighthouse from here, or maybe having some sort of trail system that gets you out here, because we want to protect this landmass and then this landmass here as well. So essentially, we may just commercialize this bit of area here and then force people to cross over here to get to the lighthouse as a tourist kind of thing. So that's just sort of where my brain is with a lot of things. But as you can see here, I want you to look and sort of look at this landmass, and then I'm going to open up the old version of this world. Let's see here. Yeah, so this is the overworld. And then you'll see here how this was all sort of a mesa, badlands, desert, all that kind of stuff. But as you can see here, see how you still have the village here? So this didn't really change much, but what changed was all of this. Like there used to be this sort of big oceany kind of area here, which validated this being here, but it's gone now. All of that got taken up by land per 1.20.2, which is crazy. And it's actually what I wanted. Ultimately, the map that I have now is the map that I always wanted, excluding sort of not having a ton of land south of here. But I just kind of hated the Badlands, and I terraformed all of this. I made this all grass. As you can see here, it's all yellow and gross and nasty. And of course, I know in World Edit you can sort of change sections of biomes and stuff like that, and biome blending is still a thing. But that's essentially what we're doing here. And so in order to not keep this video from going on too long, you can kind of essentially see the bones of, you've got the convention center here, the marina is roughly in this area, and you can kind of still see a little bit of that. But essentially what I went in, so I just went in and I deleted all of essentially, if I didn't build it, I just went in and, you can kind of see how there was this giant white map that I was making over here. Kind of see I've got my stables here, which are still a thing. I still kind of want to keep some farmland out here. But I just essentially went in and was just like, okay, anything that's not in this circle here, just get rid of it and just show me what you're working with, new version of Minecraft. And it did a pretty good job. It gave us some really cool things to work with. And you can kind of see I had all sorts of things out here that I also got rid of. But essentially, this was the old map, and I was really worried about it. I made multiple backups, but then it gave us something really cool to work with, which was, this. And so a lot of this actually I made on my own. Like this didn't exist. It was still over an open ocean. So I had to make that work. I had to blend in all of that land, and then we went from there. And then as you can see, it gave us some really cool sort of island-y things. So this looks a little weird. From top down, it looks just sort of unnatural, and that is the thing. I mean, a lot of people in the past, from what I understand, a lot of airports were just sort of filled in and built over water. So the story that this is telling still kind of fits what I'm trying to do here. But essentially, I'm allowing myself to expand across to this area. Still have zero idea what I'm going to put on this side, right? So like houses here, kind of near an airport, kind of loud and busy. I just kind of needed to be able to tell that story somehow in my head. And then we're going to work our way out this way, and we're going to work our way down south. But look at this. Like this right here, this is still a ton of land. This is still a ton of land that can tell a story. And what it is, I don't know yet. I mean, I've got some ideas. I take my iPad and I take a screenshot of this, and I just sit there sometimes when I'm bored at work or after hours and just sort of draw like, yeah, well, this could be like this for sure is going to be the marina now that I've done this, and like this needs to be moved, and this needs to be moved, and this could be moved, could it work over here, yada yada yada. I go through all that, in my brain. And this is essentially what I used to do as a kid. I used to take sheets of paper and literally draw streets and buildings just like this. And so the fact that I can do that in Minecraft is a lot of fun. So yeah, I just wanted to show you this. and I just wanted to give you an idea of where I'm at in my world, this world, and also in my life. So there you go. That I got the stinky effect. How long is that going to be lasting? Oh, just another minute. Let's see. Can I wrap this video up by the time night vision is gone? Probably not. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you watching. If you're brand new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. I'm, again, not going to guarantee what kind of content is going to come. I'm still debating on whether or not it makes sense. Look at me. I'm moonwalking. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Okay, that's my. I was just barely not on top of the ground. That's really funny. But yeah, I I don't. I just hate committing to something that I can't necessarily say that I can. I do have a Discord. I do welcome you to join that Discord. I will try to open that up to everyone. If you have thoughts, ideas, that may actually be the easiest way to get your feedback to me versus YouTube. And that'll be a place where I'll be able to kind of show you guys what I'm working on as well. I want to kind of revitalize the community that I started building years ago. I got away from it for reasons. I mean, I started a family. I started my own personal business. I just started doing a lot of things that required a lot of my time. And unfortunately, I kind of had to pull the reins on my YouTube channel. And, oh, night vision, I still got 30 seconds. So there will be a lot of information down in the description. I encourage you to check out older videos, especially like the last 2 or 3 of this series, because they'll kind of show you where I was coming from. And now that you have this video, you can kind of see where we're going. So anyways, that's going to do it for me. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. And until next time, this is JPT. Go play your games. And I'll be seeing you. Yeah. Beat it.